Hey everybody, it's Monica with Fit Eats Coaching, and today I'm back with dynamic stretch and flow yoga, which are two of my favorite things to teach in classes and to teach my clients. This type of exercise is amazing before, during, and after workouts, and we're going to talk about all that stuff. So let's get started with this amazing shin box, which is really great for opening up the hips, low back, and torso. You're going to sit with your legs in a zigzag position, and you're going to use your deep abdominals to round the back as you're rotating from side to side. And then once you come into that full side position, that's where you're going to really extend and reach out to the side, press into the floor. If you can't do that because your hand or wrist bothers you, or because maybe you just feel like you don't have that range with your obliques, then use a blanket to help you. And you can use your hands to kind of help you along from side to side. But what you don't want to do is use your legs. You want to be using mainly your core to engage this movement from side to side. All right, on to the next exercise. You're going to lay with your mid back on a rolled up blanket or yoga mat. You're going to spread apart a band across the chest and keep it in that position. And then you're going to open your legs into that butterfly or frog pose. And you're just going to shift your knees from side to side. So if you struggle with the previous exercise, this might be an easier way to get started with hip and low back mobility. Again, this is about your deep abdominals helping to move the lower body. So you're keeping your upper body nice and still. You're drawing your belly button down into the ground, trying to minimize that space between your low back and the floor. And you're then using your deep abdominals, inner thighs, internal hip rotators to help you take those knees from side to side. Notice how I'm keeping my feet stacked on top of each other. So I'm trying really hard not to let them open out. When you're wearing shoes, this is a little bit harder to do, but still it can be done. Now, once you do about 6 repetitions of each of those things from side to side, you're going to move on to a wider foot hip opener. I like to call this a bent leg wiper. And this is where you're going to really start to feel that opening that's happening through your chest, your neck, and your upper back. If you're engaging those deep abdominals and you're using the right lower body muscles, you're going to start to really release all that tension in the upper body, and you're going to start to feel really nice and tall. Your posture's going to feel much improved once you stand up. Now, to finish up on your back, you're going to extend your legs, bring your hands in prayer pose over the chest, and again, reach all the way back with your hands. This is assisted fish pose. You still have that blanket underneath your mid back, and again, you're drawing that belly button down into the ground to help stabilize the back. This is really important. Now, once you've done 6 of those, you're going to flip on over to your stomach, and you're going to do a combo of Cobra and Scorpion. This is one of my favorite mobility dynamic stretch exercises that I filmed when I first started filming videos for Your Best Female Figure like 10 years ago. This exercise is amazing for improving total body coordination and especially activating your glutes as you're lengthening the front of the body. So notice how I'm reaching my foot up towards the waist level, and I'm really opening my hip, but I'm trying my hardest to keep my head and chest down. And when I come up to the Cobra, I'm not locking out my arms, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders away from my ears. A lot of things to keep in mind. And if that's not enough, you also have to engage your deep abdominals to protect the back and squeeze your glutes as you're transferring those legs from side to side. So if this is a little bit too advanced for you, then just do more repetitions of the previous exercise until you get stronger and are able to do this. Again, you're only doing about 6 repetitions on each side, and then you're gonna move on to something a little bit more dynamic than that. So notice how as we get off the ground, we're starting to get a little bit more intense with the mobility work. So we're going into thread the needle and deep lunge, twist. So threading the needle to the same side, come into that kneeling plank and step forward into that deep lunge and then twist. Again, this requires a lot of core and also alignment with the upper body. So if you feel like you're not ready for this, then I have filmed plenty of other mobility routines that are more appropriate for beginners and intermediates. I would say that this entire routine is around intermediate to advanced level. I would say that if you're a beginner and you want to try this stuff, make sure that you're really activating your core and glutes as you do all this stuff. Also, I wanted to add that with mobility work, just like with more complex exercises, you can always break it down. You can just do your thread the needle exercise on its own, and that's a great mobility exercise to do for upper body workouts. You can also do that kneeling plank into the deep lunge twist on its own. You don't have to combine all these things. You can split them up, and then as you improve your coordination and endurance and core strength and glute stability, you can start combining some of these things and making them more complex. So it's just like your workout, which I've mentioned before. You can adjust everything in a workout to fit your body. All right, we're moving on to this dynamic down dog. You're gonna come into down dog, squeeze the shoulder blades together, come up onto the balls of the feet, and then swiveling from side to side. So you're pivoting those heels, you're up on the balls of the feet, and you're just pivoting your heels from side to side and adding a little bit of a knee bend. This is going to stretch your hamstrings, your hips, low back, and especially your lats, which is amazing for upper body workouts. So once you're done with this, you're going to go and do your workout, and then after you're done, you're going to finish up with some dynamic yoga flow, which is going to mirror everything that you just did in your dynamic mobility routine to warm up. So if you're ready to get into a 7 to 9 minute flow with me, go ahead and follow me onto the next video. This is a 2-part series and everything's going to be over on the blog. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this and it has been helpful. I will be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your fittest, leanest body. Thanks for watching.